People wanna talk that talk, in reality you have not seen me in action. You think the come up comes overnight, you ain't behind the scenes. Trust me, these things don't just happen. No shade to Gerald, but G's don't come easy when you tryna eat out producing and rapping. I read that contract you sent me to sign, but excuse me, I can't help myself.
Alright, in this episode or video straight off the track, gonna go inside my TLR Elite 5.0 car straight off the track, still got dirt on it. Yeah, so here we go. Body was painted by Eric Everett at Easy Customs down in Florida. Nice job, nice lines. Next time I might have him do something in the back, you know, the white in the back. But really pleased with how it turned out. So I'll get another glimpse. I'm gonna start up front. Up front I got a Savox servo that I stripped like the anodize off of it. Did a video on it. You go check it out. Behind that, I got the Hobbywing G2 servo. It's been really good. Still, you know, testing it and whatnot. And I ran this car in 2-wheel mod open. So next is my batteries. I wrapped my batteries, but that's just a Gen Ace or Ace Gen battery that I wrapped. I got lipo weight up under it. Forgot what the weight is, what the lipo weight is. Moving back, I got a TS3 Motors 7.5, and then I got a fan. I'm running a fan in all my vehicles. This is a Salt RC fan. Best fan they got out there in the fan business, I guess. It's a ball bearing fan. So I got the black on chrome, and try to keep my car kind of like murdered out. So those are my electronics with a Sanwa M12 receiver. Okay, up front in my front shocks, I have the thin pistons. I have thin pistons front and rear of the car. I really love those pistons. It just made the car feel like more, I don't know, connected to the track, or as they say, into the track. But to me, it made it feel like it's more connected. I got 1.6 pistons up front. No limiters in the shocks. No spacers, you know, underneath the shock. As you can see, yeah, no spacer underneath the shock. And I'm running 37.5 weight oil in the front shocks. And the spring, I got the Team Associated gray spring on the front shocks here. And then stroke length. The stroke length I got is 22 millimeters stroke length. Mounting position up top, I got the shock mounted in the center hole in the shock tower, and I got it mounted in the center hole in the arm. Spring cup, I got the middle or mid height spring cup on the front. Okay, on the rear shock, I got the thin pistons as I stated before. I'm running the 1.7 thin pistons in the back, and I was playing with the shock oil here. I got 32.5 shock oil in the back, so throughout the weekend that was what I was playing with, and I went with the, you know, it's what I had, but I went with the Yokomo green spring on the rear with a stroke length of 29.3 millimeter stroke length. And on the back, I'm running the low shock cup, or I mean spring cup on the back, the low one. And up top, I got it mounted in the rear. I mean, in the middle. And I got the shocks mounted to the front of the car. But, and I got it mounted in the middle hole on the arm. Okay, after the shock package, I go with the ball studs. Up the front, I got 1mm under the ball stud on the inside. And I got it mounted in the middle insert. And on the outside, I got 2mm washer or spacer mounted under the ball stud on the outside. And I got it in the center, or the inner hole. And I would play with those, like, especially here. You know, if the steering was like aggressive, or if I wanted more steering, or just the aggressive feel. It's really about feeling. So I would play with, you know, spacers and stuff like that up front. Another thing I did was started mounting the wing up top. And in some of my other videos, I told you I put, you know, a lock nut in there. And I don't know, it just made the car feel better with the wing mount up top. And also with the lock nut, I really tightened everything down on the front end of the chassis with, you know, these two nuts there. The front wing, I ran the front wing and I just kept breaking it off. I would crash and snap, and you know, that's $12 there every time I broke it. So I just went with the wing up top, and with that, like I said, it was just the overall better feel. Just made the car feel, you know, just the front end feel just overall better and connected. Okay, the spindle height, I went with 3mm up top and 1mm at the bottom. I was playing with that also, just like weight transferring and, you know, and crossing the car. Like I said in the earlier video, just how weight transfers and just the cross in the car. So I was playing with that too this weekend, and that's what I, you know, decided on and went to the main event on. Was that right there, 3 up top and 1 at the bottom. And I got the spindles mounted to the inner hole. Alright, my trail on this car, I got it at 3mm back. For me personally, I felt the 3mm trail just felt better. Another tip is make sure you get the aluminum spacer, or not aluminum spacer, but the aluminum insert for the back side, because if you don't, your wheel will go rolling off. So get the 3mm trail backside. It's like 18 bucks. It's not included in the kit, but that is what I prefer on it. I've tried the 2mm and all the other trails, but that's the one I settled on, with a 3. Okay, underneath the steering, I went with 1mm spacer underneath the steering, and I didn't put any spacers in. I just mounted against the steering rack, the ball stud against the steering rack. 2mm under the steering, well, servo tie rod, steering rod, whatever you want to call it, and those spacers on the silver arm. The TLR steering is a tight fit. I'll zoom in and show you. It is a tight fit, but this is what I'm running. No spacers underneath. Sorry about that, losing focus. But that is what I am running. Also, what I want to point out is my arms up front and in the rear. I run stiff as hell arms up front and rear. I really like the feel of that. I don't know, I kind of like a stiff, front end. That's just my preference. It's just something that I've raced with as a kid. But yeah, I like a stiff front end, a stiff feeling front end. But yeah, I run stiff as hell arms up front and rear. All right, moving to the rear ball stud. I got 3mm out on the hub, and I got one down. It says 1mm down, so pretty much I got 1mm on the inside. I know, kind of backwards, but with LOC you can adjust your height without undoing your ball stud. So could depend on track conditions, you can adjust that spacer either 1mm up or 1mm down. Really love that adjustment. Hex, I got the standard TLR hex. What came with the car. Like I said, the Elite car is like out of the box is really good. I got the hubs all the way forward. I played around with the hub height, and I finally settled in like on a 0. That's another thing I adjust throughout, the weekend on the track is rear hub height. But yeah, finally, I'll either go +1 up or 0, and I think I finally went with 0. I think in the beginning of the qualifiers, and then like come main event or Saturday went 1 up. And that's one of the things I play with as far as adjustments. Another one of the things I added was 68mm dog bones or CVAs, and I adjusted that difference in the axle. For slicker tracks, it just makes it feel grippier. So beginner qualifiers, 68 CVAs, it just made the car, the back end just grip up a little bit more, like in the corners and Xing the corners and entering them, and just more stable. I like that stiff, tight feeling, But yeah, that's one of the things I added to the car. Stiff as hell arms. But yeah, that's my diff height. Peel adjustment. I went with the center peel and a C and D block. So the hinge pin is actually center. So I didn't do any up or down adjustments or inside adjustments. I got the hinge pin center, front and rear. Gearing, I went with a 75-22. Another thing that if you follow me on Instagram, I showed that I got carbon fiber. Oh, sorry, losing focus. I got carbon fiber slipper pads, and those work really good. Like when the track is super slick, they work really good. And then when I do your warm-up lap before either your qualifier or before you get your race, they heat up really good, and it's just real consistent. But if you follow my Instagram, I showed you where I got them. I think I did a video on where I got these. But yeah, carbon fiber slipper pads. I got them on both sides. Tires. My tires I ran, these are, if you saw my cost for tires for the weekend, you know what these tires, these are Positron, Proline Positrons front and rear, and they're slicks. And what I done was I didn't go out and buy new tires and slick these down or anything like that. These are tires that I had like from last year. I just keep them in the custom work tire containers to keep them fresh and whatnot. And you know, I put just a dab of Simple Green inside the container just to keep everything kind of moist and fresh. And this is what I ran, I want to say Saturday night, and this is what I ran for my main event. Alright, that concludes my long video. Thank you for tuning in. Like, subscribe, thumbs up, follow me on Facebook, Instagram. I got some affiliate links down below. Helps me out a lot. Got Patreon, helps me out a lot. Yeah, that's what I run. Just trying to, you know, really give y'all insight of like my final setup to get y'all, I guess, in the ballpark, or just to give you an idea of, you know, what I think, or just to get you up and going quicker. You know, hopefully you found value in what I gave you. But yeah, anyway, thank you for tuning in. It means a lot. See you soon.
Somewhere on the sea, it got a little longer, so it seems.
Did I ever tell y'all that I fought in World War One, World War Two, and Vietnam? I skipped the Korean War. I didn't have enough fight in me then, and by the time Vietnam rolled back around, I got my win back. Yeah, Vietnam, they tricked me. They tricked me. They put a sign up. Here I was walking down the street. They put a sign up that says, "Free cruise." So I said, well, I ain't doing nothing. I hop on the cruise. So I stood in line. Never knew that was a draft. That they tricked me there. So it was a cruise, all right. It was a cruise, all right.
so sick of pain. But it's all too quick with you. Losing this game, I can't afford to be losing this game. And I know you're the safest bet.
Music licensing reimagined.
Words, no, I can't seem to find. But I'm really trying again. Reason, rhyme, and take a time and choose. Whether we green or yellow, whether we deep or shallow. Please me now, 'cause we're about to lose. Whether we buy or hello, whether we stay or jello. Sometimes money means
Artlist.io.
a little bit of gasoline. I burned out, so to speak. Come a little closer. Here's some disclosure. Do you mind to quit your pretending? Truth or false, the shit never ending. Hear me now and stop condescending.
Music
You see, I'm
licensing
begging you every day.
reimagined.
If you're sick for love, don't try to hide it. Find it deep inside and try to hide it. If there's a way, I wanna know we tried it. Quit your games and now that you denied it. Losing this game, I can't afford to be losing this game. And I know you're the safest bet. Losing my mind, can't find the words, no, I can't seem to find. But I'm really trying again. Reason, rhyme,
Artlist.io.
time and choose. Whether we green or yellow, whether we deep or shallow. Please me now, 'cause we're about to lose. Whether we buy or hello, whether we stay or jello. I gotta move and make amends.
Music licensing reimagined.
The same regrets. It could feel so good on mine. Not about love. Again. And I know you're the safest bet.
Artlist.io.
Whether we green or yellow, whether we deep or shallow. Please me now, 'cause we're about to lose. Whether we buy or hello, whether we stay or jello.
Music licensing reimagined.